The Bible, that deep well of stories, wisdom, and at times complex cultural norms from thousands of years ago, certainly doesn't hold back on its multitude of interesting narratives. When we turn to the topic of women proposing marriage to men, there are a couple of instances that stand out amidst the more conventional tales. The Book of Ruth. Perhaps the most famous example happens in the Book of Ruth. In chapter 3, we find Ruth following the advice of her mother-in-law, Naomi. She cunningly approaches Boaz, her kinsman redeemer, threshing barley on the threshing floor. Now, it wasn't a direct, "Will you marry me?" by our modern standards. But let's be honest, everything about that scene screamed matrimonial intent. Here's how it played out. Naomi coached Ruth to get all dolled up and visit Boaz at night after he's had a bit to eat and drink. She was to uncover his feet and lie down, a gesture filled with symbolism. And when Boaz woke up suddenly and found her there, she said, "I am your servant Ruth. Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are a guardian redeemer of our family." Ruth 3:9, NIV. The "spread your garment" line was a culturally understood proposal of sorts. Boaz, being the stand-up guy he was, accepted the offer with honor, clearing it up with any closer relatives first. Talk about a classy move. The story of Rebekah. Another case, less direct but still intriguing, involves Rebekah in Genesis 24. Here it's not Rebekah herself, but her family and Abraham's servant who do the negotiating. The servant had been sent to find a wife for Isaac, and when he happened upon Rebekah, he knew his quest was over due to some divine providential signs. It wasn't Rebekah popping the question, but she did have a say in the matter. When asked if she would go with the servant to marry Isaac, she simply stated, "I will go." Genesis 24:58 NIV. That's some decisive female agency right there, which, for the time and place, was somewhat unorthodox. These verses showcase that even within the constraints of historical context, there was room for women to step forward and express their will, something that I think enriches the experience of engaging with these ancient texts. And hey, as someone living in Portland, Oregon, where progressive ideals and equality are deeply valued, it's refreshing to find echoes of similar sentiments in an ancient script. Now remember, interpretations vary, and cultural contexts can shift how we see these interactions, but they demonstrate that the Bible is far from a static, monolithic work. It's a collection of stories where, occasionally, women step out of societal expectations and make moves that are quite literally matrimonial game changers.